Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning in to the latest edition of Fran Coach's Franchising 101 webinar series. Today, we are excited to have our first Franchisor Spotlight webinar of 2020, and can't think of a better way to kick off the new year than with today's guest, and that would be Miss Danielle Wright from Money Pages. Danielle, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
So Danielle, we've got a whole slew of things ready to fire at you for Money Pages. So I hope you are buckled in, and especially thank you for joining us because we understand you might be in just a terrible, awful place called Jamaica today. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, well, thanks for taking a couple minutes away from the swim up bar from the air quotes conference that you're hard at work at, and enjoy. And we're going to enjoy talking to you today, so be ready. First up, we always want to kind of remind everybody a little shameless plug time of who we are. So let's kind of remind everybody of that. Fran Coach, we are a national search firm and dedicated to working with individuals who are interested in owning a franchise. We are partnered with over 500 of the top franchisors in the country, spanning nearly 60 industries. Two basic goals in our process. First is to educate clients enough to determine if franchise ownership is the right path. If it is, goal number two is to help each person find the absolute best franchise for them to own. Believe it or not, that is actually the easy part. Best of all, there is never, ever any fee for our service. So that is a little bit about Fran Coach. Now let's get to the good stuff. Money Pages. Love this. Multimedia marketing agency. Danielle, give us a scoop. Tell us a little bit about Money Pages.
Well, thanks for inviting me. Thanks for the intro. Lucky everybody on the phone that you're working with Fran Coach. It's an amazing organization that we're excited to partner with to showcase Money Pages. So Money Pages is a multimedia marketing agency specializing in direct-to-consumer mail and digital categories. So a few things about this business model is it's a true semi-absentee model where as an executive can manage a sales team and get out and network with the community. We have a strong owner-operator presence as well that really gives you the flexibility yet predictability of a Monday through Friday schedule. No nights, no weekends, 8 to 5 as business. We're a low overhead opportunity, low cost of entry, which is key for a semi-absentee model in today's environment. You're going to invest less than $100,000 to get a great multimedia marketing agency business open. We have a lot of great things to share with you, but I'd love to open the floor with Fran Coach to see what kind of questions might be interesting to your panelists in regards to learning a little bit more about Money Pages.
Awesome. Yeah, no, and definitely if you've got any, fire them away on the chat feature. If we run out of time, we'll make sure that we get those answers back to everybody via email. But you mentioned multimedia marketing agency, and a big piece of that is obviously the direct mail, which for those who may not know is a multi-billion-dollar industry that continues to grow year over year. But unlike other brands in that space, Money Pages is so much more. Can you talk to us? You talked about the ownership semi-absentee, and I want to touch on that later, but talk to us about some of the other differentiators Money Pages brings to the table, kind of how it works, and what are some other things that we can look for?
Great. So how it works, let's talk about a little bit of history, right? Because how does one get into this business, and how did Money Pages start? So we've been in business for 20 years based out of Jacksonville, Florida. We were started by our CEO and founder, Alan Worley, who was in radio and TV advertisements. And so he was meeting with small business owners regularly and found that those advertising mediums were awfully expensive for small business owners to be able to get the name out for their brand or their business. So he left that world very successful, opened Money Pages, which started as a circular, a magazine circular, offering calls to action, promotions, discounts for small businesses within the Jacksonville community. So him and his sales team started in that executive model space, went out, built relationships with the pizza guy, the plumber, the painter, the home restoration business, probably a few of the franchises that you've looked at through your history, built relationships through professional networking and gave those business owners the opportunity to get their product or their service out to the local consumer through a print mechanism, through that magazine. We started with that magazine. We rolled out additional marketing materials from a print category, whether that's DAL cards, the postcards you get in the mail, inserts into the magazine that have pop out. Any type of print advertising that a business would look to do is something that Money Pages works within and with and through. Now, the big advancement for us is through years of building those relationships, scaling our business to 15 territories in a market, producing over $22 million in sales in our territory, we were missing a few pieces. So a lot of our advertisers have been with us from day one and really wanted to leverage some digital pieces and opportunities as the digital segment continues to grow. So we created what we call our sister company is 3D Digital, so that we can specialize and help those same small businesses manage their social media, maybe revamp their website, do some direct mail targeting through email campaigns. Anything that you can think of on the digital side of the business is something that we specialize in. Now, for franchise owners, that gives you another vertical of revenue in your business outside of the print category, and gives you some credibility to the fact that you can say you're a marketing consultant or a marketing company because you have access to all those pieces. With the creation of that digital company, we were able to create a mobile app so that our end consumers have access to those cost-saving coupons and calls to action on their mobile phone. Our magazines are also electronic, so I'll ask everybody to take some time and go to moneypages.com and look at the top of that toolbar and see latest issues, and feel free to thumb through what exactly we publish as far as a magazine is concerned, and know that there are digital components to that as well. So our owners are out really consulting with small business owners. This is not a heavy sales role, so don't put that in your head. Look at it as I'm a networker, I'm a mayor of my town, I'm someone that wants to help small businesses grow their business and reach their goals personally and professionally and economically. So that's a little history of the business. That's how we kind of stand out. There are some competitors in this segment like Valpak and Money Mailer. They sit more in an envelope style coupon method. Our advertisers can get a lot more space in our magazine, a lot more eyes to their product offering than they can with our competition. But we felt that there was a really big window to come in and disrupt what people have been doing since the dawn of the U.S. Postal Service. So a few fun facts to think about here is that the USPS hasn't seen a decline in direct mail since its infancy. You've seen first-class mail go down because everyone's getting things via email versus bills through the mail. You've seen packages go up with the U.S. Postal Service because their costs are better than going to UPS or FedEx, but the direct mail piece is still a strong strategy for businesses, still very cost effective, and has stayed consistent through the data for the U.S. Postal Service. So one last piece here on the technology that kind of gets us all a little excited is as we've grown over time, we have built an in-house studio at our corporate headquarters in Jacksonville, and I will invite every one of you to continue to look at our model more with Fran Coach and come visit us in Jacksonville, because it truly is pulling back the curtain and seeing the Wizard of Oz when you come. And in our house, in our in-house video production studio, we can do voiceovers, radio and TV commercials. We can do videos for YouTube channels and Vimeo. We have the tools, the systems, and the staff to be able to produce high-level technical video aspects for our advertisers. We do a lot of Ford commercials for the local Ford dealers as well. So there's a lot of running room here for a business model that can expand in a lot of different verticals.
Awesome. The technology piece of this, of just the more we've personally learned about Money Pages, and just recently had one of our Fran Coach clients that's just signed a franchise agreement with you guys, and hearing his feedback from being there at Discovery Day was just absolutely blown away. And we'll talk more about this, but the culture, the support, but just the the coolness of the stuff, the stuff, the what you just talked about, looking at the all the video components. Heck, even just in this slide, how the heck did that girl get a keyboard that has multicolors on it, right? Where do I get one of those, right? But the all of the technology pieces to this, in addition to the direct mail, which is still just mind-boggling how much money is in that space, is incredible. But go back to what you talked about earlier with this isn't like, you're not some sales rep, you're a business owner, you're connecting with other local business owners, and based on all of the offerings, you're really kind of the one-stop shop for all the local business owners in your community. That's pretty much what we're looking at, right?
Right. I challenge a lot of those I've talked to you about many pages to look at it from the perspective of, I'm not here to sell you ad space in some type of magazine or publication or circular. I'm here to help you devise a marketing strategy, and small business owners should really be spending their time running their business, making sure it's operationally efficient and they're making money. And most small business owners will tell you marketing's not their strong suit. They know they need to spend the money. They're not sure where. They may be working with 5 or 6 different partners in each of these individual categories. So we are that one-stop shop for marketing needs for small business. So look at yourself from a consultant space, and how do I help this business owner with a long-term strategy? This is not just I come in and buy 3 months of advertising. This is, I'm going to develop a plan to continue to grow my business through various marketing components. And I have one person I go to. That's my one relationship person. So I'm not having to call 5 different people and making sure my social media matches with my website, which matches the logo that's on my print advertising. We're going to make sure that there is consistency across the board so that consumers know who you are. We're also going to provide really good insights into what competition is doing to gain their clients or their customers, so that you can out-position and gain that, be the first to gain that business. So we provide you 3 weeks worth of training to help you understand how you position yourself with small business, how to coach you through offering all of your services, and helping you to be a highly profitable small business owner like you're trying to do for other business owners in your community.
Awesome. Yeah. And again, some of the technology pieces, as you talked a little bit, all the call tracking, the ways to really show that return on investment for the local business owners who are your clients, it's just incredible. And the other thing I think sometimes people don't realize, and again, we just ran by this with the gentleman who's now a Money Pages owner, as he was vetting a couple other franchises. And while on the phone with an owner from another brand, the owner is talking about, best lead generation formats for them. And that owner was talking about how great direct mail was, which really just solidified it. I don't think the owner realized it, but it basically kind of kicked them to the curb and brought Money Pages to the top of the thing, because every business needs to market and advertise some way, shape, or form. And you guys are really the one-stop shop, which is awesome. So let's talk a little bit about that owner. And you mentioned at the beginning, right? This certainly can be the owner-operator model, but also can be semi-absentee. Tell us a little bit about what those 2 ownership paths look like.
So owner-operator is really the most affordable entry point for the Money Pages system. You're looking at about an $80,000 investment for one territory. You're going to go out and build one-to-one relationships. So you'll be that face, that person that's going to work with Bob's Pizza or Mark's Plumbing, right? You can immediately start. So as soon as you sign your franchise agreement and become a Money Pages franchise owner, you're going to produce your first magazine, which is where we start with this business, within 60 to 90 days of that date. So we get you started instantly so that you're creating revenue in your business. You're going to work about 40, 45 hours a week. You're going to want to gain roughly 30 to 40 small business relationships in that period of time to fill what we say is a 16-page advertising magazine. We talk about the magazine a lot, so don't get scared about that. but how we build this business is step by step. And so we start with the magazine, then we roll in additional print mediums, and then we get you into the digital offering space. So each of them is a different vertical or revenue source that we need to support and train you on. But owner operators have come in and started in that. It's a good way to transition out of your current corporate role into understanding small business, and it takes it step by step. The executive model has become a little bit more appealing. I'll explain to you back from a history perspective. We've only been franchising for about 5 years. So we have 5, 6 owners in our system currently. And they're more regionally based. So again, we're based out of Jacksonville, Florida. Most of our franchise owners are on the East Coast. And with that being said, we kind of stuck to an owner-operator model. Our owners in our system have come in owner-operator. We're working with a few people now that are taking the executive model approach, because that investment is roughly $150,000 to $175,000, strictly because you're providing for more working capital. Again, there's no office here. You're going to work from home. But on the executive model side, you're likely to hire or bring in a small consulting team or sales team. We like to call them relationship managers because everyone has such a funny, face about sales. And they're going to go out and help to build small business relationships for you. You're likely to start with a larger magazine, so you're going to need to be able to cover some of the costs of that production, and we'll talk about what that looks like, I'm sure, here shortly. But from that perspective, if you're comfortable in manage people, you want to take a more high-level approach and be CEO to CEO conversations from a business networking piece where you're joining BNI, you're an active member of your Rotary or your chamber. You're going to meet with high-level businesses like the car dealers or certain doctors' offices where there's a certain polish and panache that you as a CEO can have with another business owner that you may not want that junior relationship builder to go out and have. And in this avenue, you also start with more territory so that you really can scale the business quickly and get to a good profit space faster than maybe on the owner-operator side.
Okay, and we talked a little bit about the cost and just the fact that you can have a semi-absentee model for such a low cost of entry is really pretty much unprecedented, because most things in that space tend to be your retail, even if it's a small boutique fitness or something in a strip mall. Those are still going to be 2 to 3 times that investment for one location, whereas now you're talking about people being able to gobble up big chunks of a whole metro area for under $200,000. Again, just from a franchising in general standpoint, that's incredibly rare. So that's a fantastic opportunity that people have. So tell us a little bit more. Again, we talked about that from a cost standpoint, and obviously the owner operator tends to be even under 100,000 to get started. All in, that's fantastic. Assuming this is the right fit for somebody, what's it look like on the back end? What's some of the kind of the money opportunities for them from a revenue perspective that you can share?
So these costs here are of locations that have been open and operating as of the end of last year. We're in the process of updating that information from 2019. We'll have that out in April, we believe. And so what you'll see here is based on a territory for distribution. So Ormond Beach, Port Orange, Daytona are all territories that get a magazine or printable materials distributed to them with 30 to 40,000 households with a 50,000 annual household income or greater. Chattanooga is a little different. That one distributes to roughly 60 to 70,000 households, but they typically deliver to one market. So that would have been 2 based on our setup of territory, but we distribute as 1. So his cost of goods are a little bit higher because he's going to more homes than necessarily what the 3 units are above. So what you'll see here is there's not really a big difference between our gross profit and net profit, guys. Our cost of goods are flat fees. It's a flat cost to print. It's a flat cost to distribute. It's a flat cost for design. Even our franchise royalty is a flat cost. So you're not going to see these numbers adjust except in the space of you distribute to a few more zip codes that have more houses in them. Ormond, Port Orange, and Daytona are all owned by one owner. So that owner just recently opened a fourth territory or market to distribute to. Ormond was the first location he opened about 5 years ago. Port Orange opened roughly 3 years ago, and Daytona's been open for a year. So Daytona and Chattanooga, these are first full year numbers. Now, you're not going to get that with a lot of different franchisors. They're not going to show you first year. They're going to show you second, third, and so on. But this is first full year numbers. And so what you'll see is that owner with 3 territories, had a sales volume growth of 1.1 and then netted about $414,000. It is, for those that are on the phone, it was a father that bought the business, started it. Mom's a school teacher. He was an executive in eyeglassware. And then he brought his son on to do some of the sales of the business. So he's kind of elevated, taken that more executive approach. His son does a lot of the sales door to door, as one would like to say. And then they brought on a second or third, depending on the way you want to look at it, to man the fourth territory. So she, in her first month, did about $25,000 in billables to the market that she started in with no background in this industry. She just networked with small business owners, gained their trust, and offered them a great opportunity to advertise with money pages.
The numbers, just to put in perspective, as you mentioned, most franchisors, and again, if it's retail, you may not have any income at all in the first, certainly 6 to 9 months, and sometimes even up to a year. And then if it is open, there's not a lot of talk about what happens that first year. The first year is usually pretty tough. And again, kind of taking a look at these numbers, and of course, disclaimer time, no guarantees of anything. I mean, you got to go out and, actually put forth effort and follow the plan and be a good match. But the potential to basically get that investment back this fast, again, has to be the right fit, but it's dang near unprecedented. So that's fantastic. And Danielle, we know we're running a little close on time being done, but we appreciate all this. Is there, I guess, anything else that's missing or anything else you'd want us to know about Money Pages?
There's a whole host of stuff, Tim. But ha ha ha.
Well,
but
good.
I'll save
We'll bring
that
you
for
back
a later
next month.
date. I'll save that for those that are interested in learning more. I'm excited to work with you and potentially any of you that are on this call. There's lots of questions, lots of great things, but it truly is, once you get into it, you're slightly surprised by a franchise that I will be honest, when I first started working with them, I was not a big fan, guys, but over time, it definitely has become something that should warrant some serious consideration if you're looking for a great franchise business to start.
And I would say the last thing too is just from our standpoint is, I would tell you twofold: the culture and the people that are top to bottom within Money Pages has been just fantastic from our experience, from Fran Coach clients that have worked with you guys, and the overall sense of support. It is one of the advantages of being within a kind of an emerging brand, is like there's nothing but support, right? They're gonna do everything in their power to help succeed. And we know, back on one of the beginning slides, Danielle, for you, you've been in the industry for a long time, and you and I have known each other a long time. I don't know if I've ever heard you as excited about a franchise as Money Pages. So it's, again, all great things from a support and helping people succeed, which is all fantastic to hear.
Well, we want to over-deliver for sure. But you had a question in the question box, I believe, from Dawn. And you asked what method of distribution. We have very close relationships because we've been doing this so long with the U.S. Postal Service. So we work with 3 printers across the country. So they will be divided out as we continue to grow our franchise network from Florida to California. And then they will get it from those printers to the local USPS. And then they get to make sure they are in the mailboxes every month between the 3rd and 5th of every month. So our customers know that they should expect a Money Pages magazine in their mailbox during that time. So we've not had a mess up yet, and hopefully we'll continue to grow that relationship with the U.S. Postal Service.
And to follow that, right, the Money Pages owners aren't stuffing envelopes, as is the case sometimes in other brands. This is all done from the franchisor headquarters, correct?
Yes. The design and the final product is all done from the franchisor's headquarters. It's then sent to the printers in the local regions, and then it's all handled. It's a behind the scenes thing for the franchise partner. So the franchise partner truly is a consultant. You will work directly with your advertisers. You'll funnel that information to the corporate representative that is assigned to you. And then you guys work together to deliver the final product. And then we make sure we get to work producing that magazine and those printables and the digital pieces quietly in the background while you continue to foster and build your relationship.
Fantastic. Danielle, thank you so much for joining us and educating us about Money Pages today. And hopefully this will help enlighten those interested in franchise ownership to just a fantastic opportunity, and ideally just open them up to the possibilities that are out there. So thank you so much for joining us today.
No, thank you for having me, and wish you guys a wonderful 2020.
Thank you. No, we'll let you get back to important things at your conference, like swim up bars and umbrella drinks. So if for everybody else that's not in Jamaica, if you'd like to learn more about becoming an owner of Money Pages or any of the 500 brands we were partnered with, let's schedule a phone call. Let's talk. All sorts of ways to get a hold of us. Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter. We'll get a MySpace if you still need it, if that helps. Email us, call us. We are here to definitely connect with you. Again, never ever any fee for our service. Also let you know, we do have a webinar 2 weeks from today, Thursday, January 30th. Just in fact, just good old generic franchising 101 and what to expect. And then our next franchisor spotlight will be on the Thursday, the 13th of February. So thanks everybody for joining us today. Have a fantastic day, and we look forward to talking with you very soon. Thanks so much.